to our very first episode of Success Talk. On each new episode, we'll bring in team members from across our departments to share their secrets on our different products, programs, and services. Today I'm joined with Zoe Woolsoncroft, MKC Feed Sales Specialist, and Gary Niehues, Purina Sales Specialist. Today we are going to talk about all things livestock, show animals, feed supplements, and more.
Very good.
So to start off with, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Hi, my name is Zoe Woolsoncroft. As Nichole said, I'm the feed sales specialist for MKC. I'm originally from Salina, Kansas, and graduated from Kansas State last spring. So I've been with the company now for 2 years, and one of those was through an internship program. And so just throughout the year, I've had a lot of growth opportunities, and I'm really excited to do things like this.
Very good. Gary Niehues with Purina. I'm a sales specialist. Been with the company for a while. I have an opportunity to travel everything west of 75 and north of 70 in Kansas for the most part, and very fortunate and blessed to be able to work with MKC as one of my leading dealers.
Okay, well now it's time to get into the really good stuff. And so to start off with, can you guys tell us about the High Octane feed line of Purina?
You bet, Nichole. So the High Octane line it's our line of show feed supplements. So we've had the line out for a while. We continue to make new additions to the line. One of the key features of the supplement line is it doesn't matter which feed you're using, Zoe. It doesn't matter if you're using our complete feeds. It doesn't matter if you're using a competitor's. It doesn't matter if you got your own homegrown brew that you like to do. It's a supplement that really targets specific needs in there within your show projects. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a cattle project, a sheep, goat, whatever it might be. We've got a supplement that would fit it. It doesn't matter if we're trying to gain weight, we're trying to hold animals, we've got a little bit of extra wasty areas that we want to get rid of. If we've got some gut discomfort or fly control, we've got a little bit of everything in that lineup. Within the lineup, as I said, we've just introduced two new products, The High Octane line overall is probably our fastest growing line in the show feed area. And within the High Octane line, we just introduced two new products, the Alleviate product and the Clarify product. The Alleviate is for gut health, and that's available to use on all species. It doesn't matter, again, if it's cattle, sheep, goats, whatever the species might be. Anytime that we're talking about a show environment, we're talking about a stressful environment. Animals get stressed, owners get stressed. It's a very stressful environment, whether it's stress from changing feed, it's a stress from going to a show, it's a stress setting up at a show when you got new neighbors, you got new pen mates, whatever it might be. The Alleviate product, Nichole, really helps to promote a good gut health, and it really reduces that stress level. Really good to use as you go onto a show or once you get to the show or full time. The other new product, Clarify, really is just off the shelf earlier this spring, and that's for fly control. As you go to different show barns or as you're raising goat and sheep yourself or cattle, whatever it might be, we have a constant problem with flies. The Clarify product is a way to get a feed through fly control product. You can feed it with any of our feeds. It doesn't matter what feed it might be. It really works to control a house fly, stable flies, and horn flies. And what it doesn't actually kill the fly. Nichole, it interrupts the life cycle of the fly, so the larvae die at an immature stage and doesn't really harm the fly or the animal. Excuse me.
Well, I think it's proof that after everything that Gary just said there, I mean, Purina has invested a lot in this line and is wanting to really help those livestock producers and exhibitors out in that area. So, Zoe, I don't know if you want to take this question, but as kind of like we look into issues as showmen are looking to issues that drive gain, what tips do you have to drive up consumption, or maybe tips to slow those animals down?
Yeah, great question. Some ideas that would be different from just moving with the feed. Another great option would be to have them check their water source and just make sure that they have some good quality water. Some concerns that they may have are that there's mucus in the water or different things that can cause disruption in the animal system. So the better quality water you have, the better intake you will get from your animal, because with higher quality water, they'll be able to consume more feed or supplements, any of the sort that you would feed them, and so that will give you a higher gain for your animal.
You had great answers, Zoe. Yeah.
So as we look at the balance of what showmen and livestock exhibitors are feeding their animals, I mean, how do we incorporate hay into any of these feeding efforts or programs that they have?
Yeah, great question, Nichole. So one of the things that we like to talk about as we talk about ruminant species, especially, what we want to talk about is the amount of time that you're feeding, the number of times you're feeding, and how you're feeding your hay. A lot of times it's very easy to put your hay out there free choice, and it's safe, and it is safe, and we want to do it. It's natural for the, let's think about beef animals specifically here. It's really safe for them, it's really natural for them, they like it, right? But as we get into a project, Nichole, if we're running out of time, we've got a lot of weight to gain, and we're running out of time, and we allow them to have free choice hay, what they'll do is they'll eat to their heart's content, basically, and they'll get filled up on that, and that's good and it's safe, but it's not getting them to gain the way we want them to gain. And the show world is a little bit different. The things that we're looking for in a show animal are different to a degree versus what we're looking on the commercial side. So they're taking in that hay, and we're not able to bring in enough commercial feed or show feed in this situation to really get some of that bloom on them. You know, typically in the commercial world, we're really not worried about coat condition. In the show world, huge issue, right? So we want to really kind of limit the amount of hay in most cases on a beef animal project, so that we can get more of the show feed into them, or the supplements that we just discussed, so that we can get the proper hoof conditions, so we can get the right hair conditions, so we can get the right gut feel. All those things that, and again, in a commercial setting aren't as important, but in a show environment, they are hugely important. So we've got that, and then how do you feed it? Do you feed it once a day, or do you feed more times than that or not? Because we know that the more the times that you feed, the more intake that we can get. So, great question.
Okay. So as we bring those animals home, I mean, how should we consider or look at feeding those animals? Do we feed them individually, as a group? Yeah, and what tips do you guys have in that area?
Some tips that I would have is just kind of depending on what you're feeding. So if you're feeding the same product to everyone, it'd be kind of nice to just feed them together. Separating for feeding is always a little bit of a pain, but a big thing to look at is making sure that you do multiple feedings a day, so that can increase your gain. So just like us, if you're trying to feed 20 pounds of anything to us at one time, it's kind of like a Thanksgiving meal. You want to make sure that you can break that down, and that way you're able to actually feed more throughout the day by giving smaller quantities throughout the day.
Right.
Okay. And as we look at when those animals are gaining, what if it's come to a time where like we got to maintain? Are there any products or anything that we should be looking at, or how should we handle that?
You bet. Yeah, Nichole, there's within that High Octane line, that's one of the reasons that we developed such an extensive line of supplements there, so that we can really fine tune the show project. So if we're coming up on, and we've got a lot of weight already that we've gained, maybe we're ahead of schedule, so to speak, and we got county fair is in 3 or 4 weeks, and we really need to slow that animal down. So then we might take a look at maybe increasing the amount of forage that they're getting. We're going to want to cut back on the calories, right? Just like a human would be if we're trying to maintain some gain, quite honestly, right? We'd want to cut back on the calories. So we're going to cut back on more of the starches, cut back on some of the real calorie dense ones. And instead of those, we want to replace that feed stuff with more of a protein based product. So we want them to still get the protein for the muscle development, to keep the muscles fresh and really sharp. So in our lineup, that would be the Champion Drive would be a really good product. The Fitters 35 and 52 products would be good. Those products specifically, the Fitter products really work well if you've got some wasty area you need to get rid of. If we're really fat neutral and we don't have to worry about adding fat or taking fat away, then that Champion Drive would be the right way to do it. If you have some issues like that, call Zoe, call anybody at MKC. We've got a hotline, or we can go to our website, and we've got some specific rations that we can put together to hold those animals. Or conversely, if we need to gain more, we can kind of flip the chart there as well and do the same thing.
And there's an example of the tub of the Champion Drive back there.
Oh yeah, right there. A very popular product in our lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if we're on the other side of the spectrum? My animal doesn't seem to be gaining weight. We definitely need to push instead of maintain. What can we do?
So,
If you're wanting to push or maintain, again, that's going back to kind of feeding rates or feeding times throughout the day. So pushing, you can cut back a little bit more. If you were doing the 3 times a day, you can push them back to 2 times a day, or different options like that. But again, make sure you check your water and quality of that. For sure.
yeah. So if we're on the other side, Nichole, and we want to gain more, as Zoe said, in fact, I had this question come up earlier this week. I had a customer that is getting their steer project ready for the county fair. They need to gain weight, and from a salesman standpoint, it's really easy to say you need to feed twice a day or you need to feed 3 times a day, right?
Yeah.
Real easy, because I'm not the one doing it, right? But the reality of it is, if we want to get that animal to that proper weight, then we've got to look at increasing the number of times that we're feeding, because we can increase the calorie count, that intake, quite a bit. In that case, if we're trying to push them, then we do want to take out more of that forage and make sure they're getting every bite that they take is as energy dense as we can get.
Yeah.
And I think I saw we have some heavyweight somewhere around here. But heavyweight is a very energy dense product for us that really can pack the extra calories in a very small package.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zoe, I guess as the MKC feed sales specialist, what is the most common question you get related to these the feed supplement line from Purina, or any other questions about show feeds?
We kind of touched on a lot of the questions that I do get, but just some of them call and ask, what would you suggest? And so we kind of talked through the whole process and where they're at in their show season, how far they have to get to their show. And so a lot of times people are calling closer to their shows and are wondering how they can get some more weight on their show heifer, steer, whatever show animal it may be. And so that's when we go to the High Octane supplement line and kind of go through them. And there's a couple different charts that I can show them and talk through those with them, and ways that it can benefit their animal throughout their left of their time.
If I could jump on that a little bit, Nichole, seems like if the project's running really well, they've got them going on a normal feed, whether it's our feed or competitor's feed or your own feed, it doesn't matter. If the project's going well, you don't seem to get too many calls, because everything's kind of right.
Yep.
No problems, no calls, right?
Yes.
So it seems like more of the calls tend to revolve around some of the situations we already talked about.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not gaining, we're gaining too much, we've got this or we've got that, what do you have there? And so in that situation, ideally we would talk about the project as a whole up front, and some of the things that we would really stress is for a beef animal, for instance, where is the target weight that you want to feed to? Okay, so we know where the end goal is. Then where did you start at? What was the start weight? And then from point A to point B, what do I need to gain every day to make sure that when I come into August or late July that I'm going to hit my target? And as we look outside today, pretty nice day out today, but we get into July, that temperature goes up.
Yep.
We feel miserable, and I don't know about yourself, but when it gets so hot, I don't really want to eat.
Yes.
Our show animals are no different. So if we're tracking nicely, we gotta know that when we get into the really dog days of summer, that our consumption is going to go down. So again, those would be some of the questions that we probably feel more frequently.
Yeah,
Zoe?
I would agree, 100%.
And Zoe, share with our viewers, I mean, if they're interested in any of these products, who should they contact, or who can they contact, and where are they available?
Yep. So all these products we can get to are any of our MKC locations. So right now our MKC locations are a little bit limited just because these are kind of a specialty line, but up here in Manhattan, we're definitely able to get them out. And so if you just contact your local MKC location, or you can contact me, that either way, my information is all on the website, MKC Co-op or mkcoop.com, and you can contact us either way through those.
Perfect. Well, Gary and Zoe, thanks for joining me today in our first ever episode and sharing your expertise in the area of livestock feed nutrition. Don't forget to visit any of our locations for your livestock nutrition needs, or contact one of our feed sales specialists, and we'd be happy to help you.